When the company disappears, the promoters don't. Let's be very clear about what's happening right now. BG Wealth Sharing is collapsing. Well, it's actually collapsed. And like every scheme that I've seen before, the structure behind it is designed to disappear. Bond chat shutting. Can't contact anybody. Who do we trust? No real officers, no accountable executives, no one you can easily point and say, that's who took my money. Instead, you've been given a facade, fake CEO, hidden operators, and a system built to avoid responsibility. But here's the part they don't want you to think about. This scheme, this scam, this Ponzi scheme didn't grow all by itself. It was built by real people, not AI people, real people that you can touch, you can see. No doubt some of you went to their events and saw real people on the stage promoting it. People who stood on the stage, people who ran the Zoom calls, people who told you it was safe. No chance of losing your money. They're only using 1% of your deposited money to do the trades. Low risk. Same people who encouraged you to invest, to recruit your friends and family. And while you're putting your money in, they're taking the money out. New cars, $1,000 a day we've heard, $50,000 here, $40,000 here, commissions, bonuses, incentives, cars, backhand rewards that you will never know about. The same leaders telling you to be patient today were the ones profiting the most. While this thing was growing, these are not innocent bystanders. Wake up. They are co-conspirators in promoting a high-risk investment scheme, telling you it was a low-risk investment scheme. And here's where it gets serious. Many of these individuals are based in the United States of America. Let's make America great again. Thinking of you, Richard. That means you are not powerless. You can file civil lawsuits. You can claim damages. You can go after the people who made the promises, who built the trust, and who convinced you to put your money in, because the company is not real in any meaningful, accountable sense. But, and this is the bit you really want to listen to, their promoters are very real. So this is where the focus shifts. We stop chasing a ghost that never existed in the first place, and we start naming the people who built it, promoted it, and profited from it. No doubt you'll hear stories of them telling you that they have lost a lot of money and they're just like you. While they're not on the Titanic and going down, they've already cashed out. They have taken the money, they're driving those cars. In some cases, they've even leased buildings, which I'd love to know how they're going to carry on the payments on the leased buildings that they've been leased for BG Wealth Sharing. Anyway, because they shouldn't get to walk away from this. Not this time. Myself and my team of Avengers have been doing this for years. Over 5-6 years maybe, we have been exposing scams, trying to warn the public, naming and shaming the bad actors as they promote Ponzi scheme after Ponzi scheme. My biggest worry now is the fact there's going to be a rebrand. And 60% of people from my research normally jump in bed with the new launch, the new rebrand, and it's heartening to watch. Now, I'm going to give you a look of the video before we get started. I've got two panic Zoom meetings that I've recorded where I stormed in there and caused a bit of disruption, got kicked out, and they told me that I'm doing this for coffees. I don't make any money doing this. I do make a little bit of YouTube money, but not enough money to merit the 70 to 80 hours a week that I do. And I get criticized because I ask people to support me. So if you want to support me because you just think I'm great, that would help keep the wolves away from my door. Investigating scams using open source intelligence is not the best decision I've made with my life. But if you want to donate a $5 cup of coffee or join my YouTube channel or even become a monthly subscriber for as little as $1 a day on my YouTube channel, sorry, $1 a month, I don't even know. Just support me if you can. A little bit of money all adds up. Thank you very much. But that's not my why. My why is because I was brought up in a religious cult and I had two people in my immediate family who are no longer here because they couldn't live up to the expectations that that religion put on them. The striking parallel of those gaslighting leaders that told you that this was a sure thing is very similar. And I don't want to see you in a position where you feel like no one's hearing your voice and no one cares about what's just happened to you. You're going to get videos like this turning up on your screen. So let's go to the first one. And nothing happened. There it is. All right, I'm going to refresh this.
And
Listen to this.
Working with them for the past several months. They've been very professional and they've managed to get me to return the funds. I'd like to give a special recommendation.
Right, so this individual is claiming that he's been working with a crypto recovery company for the last few months. And his title to his video is BG Wealth Sharing took $340,000 from me. And then he's putting the name of an individual, which I'm not even going to give you, a crypto recovery company that he's working for the last 2 months. Now, as far as I'm aware, the last 2 months, money's been coming off the platform. Do not get suckered by the crypto recovery companies. This guy here isn't even real. If I did a search, and I'm not going to do it on his face, I'd be able to find he's an AI character, just like you've been watching Stephen Beard for the last few months. Do not get fooled by anybody who claims they know where the crypto is. It is a lie. I'm not even going to talk about the 12% that they're asking you for because that is all an exit strategy. This lady here is our focus today. She has been one of the biggest promoters. She's got a car, she's been on stage, and we watched a couple of videos of her where she was telling everyone this was a sure investment. And then last night I watched another video where she's telling everyone that they believe that BG Wealth Sharing has been hacked by a hacker. No doubt it's probably me. But the point is there's no hacker. There's no bond chat being shut down by anyone else but the people that are running this scam. A few days ago, I did a blog showing you how these scams operate. Now, whether you want to believe it or in disbelief or whatever you want to believe, I can't help that. But this is a blog that I did that showed you that the Americans are taking action against the human trafficking compounds that are set up in normally in the border of Myanmar and Thailand. If you come into here and you read this article, you will find that the United States have now set up a scam center strike force. And in here you can see all the PDFs where they've seized all the websites from the courts. Here they show you where just one of these compounds is. Here they show you the cell phones. These are the cell phones that Stephen Beard was using to communicate with you. Now, I know that you're probably more aware and you're more sensitive than you've ever been to listening to me in the past. Let's just do some basic maths. Stephen Beard was communicating with what they claim 750,000 people. Most people I talked to said that they could chit-chat to Stephen Beard from time to time. Other times, you would literally just be able to get an autoresponder. How is that possible? You're telling me that right now, well, in the past, Stephen Beard has been able to communicate with people. I don't have the traffic of 750,000 people. I don't have the time to chit-chat to everybody who messages me. These scams are ran out of these human trafficking compounds. People answered an advert, qualified people with degrees, all expenses paid, job in Thailand. They get there, their passport's taken off them, and they're put in a minibus or a bus and off to the human trafficking compounds where they're told they have to pay back the flights and pay for their accommodation. And if they don't reach their sales quota each day, they get beaten, buried alive, and I have seen people literally jump off the top of a building and bounce on the ground to their demise. Don't think that this scam is ran by an entity or a Stephen Beard or anybody. But as I said at the start, you want to go after these individuals. and you want to go after them hard, and you want to go after them fast. Now, if you go to deheck.com, which somebody will put that in the chat room, you will see that I have a page on my website called Contact Us. In here, we ask for anonymous tips. We have a form where if you don't want to tell me who you are, anonymous@gmail.com. If you can provide us names of individuals that have been promoting this, people that recruited you into it, we put them into our database. So to date, we haven't got a big database because I was busy busting a scam in America called Goliath Ventures, where the guy now was walking around wearing an ankle bracelet and was charged for running a $328 million Ponzi scheme. He's about to be indicted by the Americans. But in the meantime, I saw BG wealth sharing growing like wildfire, and no one was stopping it. It's the biggest scam that's hit the planet, in my opinion, over the last 5 years, even bigger than my hyperverse one. So if you don't know who I am, what I do, I've been featured in the New York Times. I've been in a Bloomberg documentary, mainly about hyperverse at the time. But I've got on my books around about 200 different Ponzi schemes and scams, and they're all pretty much the same pattern. You pay, they give you a job, and then they trickle feed some of your money back to make you feel like you've done it right. And in the meantime, you're told to recruit, recruit, recruit. These people that are in the pictures here have been recruiting people. I want to know who they are. Like just before, I was in a Zoom meeting with this guy, and there was 300 in the Zoom meeting, and he's trying to calm the farm. I want to know more details about him. Now, today we're focusing on this individual here, and we can see that she has been rampant at promoting this, and she's been the lady on the stage, especially in America. She lives in Texas, and there's a good opportunity that you guys could all get together, hire a lawyer, and go after her, and at least stop her from promoting the next Ponzi scheme and scam. Now, to help you with that investigation and knowing more about, I've watched her videos. I've watched a video when it was all going well, and then a video when it all fell apart. And it's absolutely crazy to listen to the excuses that they come up with. So I've put together this blog this morning. It's probably pretty good considering the time that I spent trying to put it together. But we're going to read it together, and then we will have a wee look. Now, I'm just going to put my chat room on there. I didn't realize the chat room wasn't on there, but for some reason, the chat room has disappeared. There it is. And Susie's busy in there chatting away. Thank you for pasting the Contact Us page. But we're here to help investors, and we want to actually, I don't know how to say this politely, but we want to shake you and wake you up, and we actually work for the investors. I don't do this. If I was here to make money being a YouTuber, I would probably be promoting a Ponzi scheme if that was my drive. As I said, we work on donations, but we always work for the investor. We can't help you get your money back. We don't want to promise you there's any way of getting your money back. There's no big pile of crypto there. It's all gone off to the human trafficking compounds. You've all been had, and you've all been scammed, and the only people left are the same people that recruited you and brought you into the scheme. So you can withdraw anytime. Nobody is going to stop you. Now, that was the words that we got when we were looking at her on stage. So let's just go back to a couple of videos, which shouldn't be too far back. We're going to go to the history of my thing, and we're going to see who here. So this is BG Wealth Sharing, and then we've got a live update, 12K views. So this is the one that we got today.
But I still see
now we got
if
this.
they wanted to withdraw their money in a particular wallet, and DSC Exchange had flagged that wallet, and they kept requesting, you need to change your wallet because this wallet that you're asking us to send your money to is a wrong wallet. It is not a safe wallet. And the new member kept arguing to the point that they're probably at my 10th tier that I had to step in to resolve the situation.
So she must be in management. So you can listen to this video if you want. This is all her excuse on what happened. She's trying to make it complicated. She's telling you that she's in charge of the system. She's been standing in front of this TV recruiting people for as long as I can remember. This scam has not been going for more than 12 months. Anybody that says this has been going for more than 12 months is lying to you. It's a load of rubbish.
Everyone, you guys are here because you saw and you believed and you wanted to learn and you wanted to do something not only for yourselves, but for your entire team members.
So does that sound like a lady that's telling you all the dangers and the concerns that you should be having when doing any online investments? No. So you can watch those videos. You can go around the internet and find videos of this lady telling you that this is a low risk investment, telling you that when you invest $1,000, they only use $10 of your money to do the trades, and your 99% of your money is always safe, telling you that Stephen Beard is a real person and you should have no worries. It's a low risk investment. And they're also telling you to do it for the emotional connection, where they're telling you it's for your future and for your family. And this is what you've been looking for. They've also told you that many times they've told you that this is registered with the SEC, and it's not. And they've filed an exemption. Anyone can file an exemption. I can. Anyone can. It's not a big thing. And it doesn't give them any credibility. They've also shown you company documents, right? It's all very well for me to sit here and tell you all the things that this company isn't now that you've lost the money. But we've even shown you the person that developed the website for the DS exchange. We've gone through the crypto wallet addresses, and we've shown you how they're actually taking money off the platform in chunks of 30,000, 40,000, and 50,000. The best person in the world for fighting scams messaged me yesterday, and he said that he's watched, I'll actually have to read it, but I won't be able to bring it up. Now, this is major, and I will actually show you this YouTuber. I won't show you our conversation, but this is, what have we got? Profile. Okay, so the best, the best crypto fighter in the world, sorry, Crypto G, is this guy here. He's been on TV. Is it Zach XBT? Now, he messaged me yesterday. He was researching this, and he's apologized for not messaging me. He said, what did he say? Sorry to miss your messages. Based on on-chain research, BG Wealth, DSJEX, may have collapsed. I love the way he says may has collapsed. Over the past week, 90 million worth of crypto was laundered away. So if you don't know who this guy is here, and this guy is honestly the biggest crypto guy in the world. This is number one researcher. Everything he says is pretty clever. He's asked by experts. So he messaged me yesterday, and I'm actually going to, I don't think there's any harm. I can't show you everything here, but I'm just going to prove that this is real, because a lot of people go, oh, you might make it up. But it's a big deal when people like that are messaging you. All right. So here's the message. I was originally asking him to have a look at Goliath Ventures for me, and then he's apologizing he missed the messages. Yeah, so that's the message. So I can't do any better than that, telling you. And also, not only that, guys, I mean, I don't want to get distracted on what we're doing here, but if we go to my, first of all, let's go to the second best. I don't want to do this to Crypto G, the second best crypto analyst in the world. And we're talking big shit, guys, here. This is stuff we don't normally share when we go down. So let me click on videos on my YouTube channel. And we're going to go down until we find Crypto G's.
Then don't move.
Now, this is Crypto G's wallet, and I will share this in the chat room. And you guys need to watch this. I mean, what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to wake you guys up. We need you guys to understand that we've got geniuses here that have been calling this a scam for weeks and weeks and weeks. If you go into the description here, you can actually see that we've actually shown you all the wallet addresses that BG Wealth Sharing has used. And this is stuff you won't see, but we've put them in the public arena trying to encourage people to understand. So if you go to TronScan, you can click on all these links. I'm holding down a key on my keyboard, which I don't even know which one it is, the command key on the keyboard. And we can actually go into these wallet addresses where your money has been laundered out of here. I'm just trying to find, you can see when the transactions all started. You can come down here and you can see that in this one here, I think it was something terrible, 8.4 million. You can click on these wallet addresses here. And I know this is a bit technical. And then you can come down to the transfers and you can click on the green button and you can see the big money that's been transferred. Actually, I don't know if that is big money. I think the dots are in the wrong place. But if we go to another one, I'll try to find the big one. So these are all, I'm not logged in. That's my problem. So all these addresses are labeled and they're not labeled when I'm not logged in. So excuse me for logging in. In the meantime, I will try and find a wallet to show you what we're trying to do. And hopefully we'll find one of the ones that show you the money that's been siphoned out. Okay, so see this here. This is the money that's been laundered out. So Zach, is it Zach? Am I saying that right, Susie? So Zach here is showing us, well, we've showed him these wallet addresses. And there's 44,000, 44,000, 88,000. Notice the figures are all the same. And they're all rounded figures. These figures are, we've watched the money go in. And we've watched the money go out. And there's absolutely no trading going on. There's no liquidity pools. There's no pancake swaps like they always tell you. All that stuff is literally just bullshit. So unfortunately, guys, as much as you might not like me and you might want to have hope, you have lost all your money. So the only thing to do now is to go after the assets. The lady behind it all that you should be going after is this lady here, because she was the one on the stage.
Gagan Sarkarias.
Gagan. I've seen this pattern before, the confidence, the stage presence, the certainty in the message. And then quietly, almost overnight, the tone changes. I sat down and watched Gagan's April the 12th presentation in Utah. Not as a casual viewer, but as someone who has spent years documenting how these schemes are built, scaled, and ultimately collapse. What I saw wasn't just a motivational talk. It was carefully constructed narrative designed to remove doubt, override skepticism, I can't even say it, and replace it with belief. It was like a cult, and this lady is a cult leader. And if you look at her professional website, when you look her up, you can see that she is more. She's a coach. You know, this is her website, international profile, you know, book writing, high achievement coach. This is her business. This is what she does. These are the people that she works with, who theoretically are there designed to manipulate your thinking. In a room surrounded by applause and reinforcement, she told people that BG wealth sharing was regulated, compliant, profitable, and safe. She told them withdrawals were a right. She told them the system worked, the trades are real, and the results were proven. And most importantly, she told them directly and indirectly that anyone questioning it simply didn't understand it yet. So people like me were told, they were telling people that people like me who were criticizing it and proved they don't have company registrations, proved that the money's getting laundered off the blockchain, backed up by world-class crypto experts. She's saying that I don't understand it. Do you understand it now? Why do I want you to understand it now? That's because you're going to get scammed again. 60% of people that are in this room at the moment, no doubt, are going to get scammed again. Now, we need a poll. Now, are you a victim of BG wealth sharing, or are you a survivor? Right. Have you learnt? That is the question. So let's go. Survivor or victim? Do you want to claim that you're a victim? Or I want to be an avenger? Do you want to help us go after these individuals? This is not this victim. You've got choices here. Are you a victim? Did you get misled? Did you think this is real? Because they are the most dangerous individuals for me to work with. Because victims believe they were told something, they believed it, but they're vulnerable and they will get done again. Now, if I was an alcoholic, I would go away and get help AA. And then I'm always an alcoholic because I could lapse and do it again. Are you a victim? Are you still looking for investment opportunities? Are you still investing in other opportunities that you think are real because you haven't learnt? So I want you guys to be a survivor. Or better still, become an avenger and help us fight these things. I've just put the poll in the chat room and I want you guys to actually help me here and figure out whether you're a survivor or a victim. Survivors are better because you survived losing the money. You realized that you were told a bunch of lies and you got through it. But if you're a victim, I'm guessing you're going to get scammed again and I haven't done my job properly. So I'm just trying to drive that home. But if you want to help and take down these people, these leaders that think that they can now paint you a picture, it's going to be a hard case. Now, I've also got, would you believe, I'm actually doing a live broadcast interview in about 2.5 hours. Let me think about that, an hour and a half. And I'm going to be leaving myself live while I'm interviewed by another YouTuber. How about that? So that's going to be quite exciting. I am a survivor. Good comments coming in. Thank you very much. I want to, so you've got BG Wealth is currently holding a Zoom meeting with members trying to damage control. Now I've recorded 2 Zoom meetings today. If you've got that link, please send it to me on WhatsApp and we can probably go live into that meeting. We've just been into 2 and I don't want to get distracted from this blog, but my WhatsApp number is now in the chat room. Please message that to me, the link of the Zoom and the password and the ID, or just put the ID and the password in the chat and we'll all go in there and have a wee look, which is very quite good. And just so you know, right now I actually have 3 Zoom meetings open where we've already gone in there and recorded today. So we're actually, I didn't want to do that. I did it anyway. So we're there today and that would be awesome. So yeah, if your ID and password to that Zoom meetings, would love to go in there. It was cancelled today. Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, let's go back to the blog. Now fast forward to her most recent video, which we're not going to watch. The same person who stood on the stage predicting certainty is now telling her audience to be patient, stop panicking, and trust the process, while her own withdrawal sits under audit. 7 days and counting. So she's telling you that she's been taking money off the platform, fistfuls of money, and now she's telling you that her own withdrawal has been jammed for 7 days and counting. At the same time, we are told there are 700,000 withdrawal requests in the system. So that's everybody who's been involved in Hyperverse, except the 50,000, if you want to believe there's 750,000, 750,000 people. And 700, how does she know that there are 700,000 withdrawal requests in the system? Any idea? Does somebody want to have a theory on that and put that in the chat room? Because she's been receiving backhanders. She might have even been approached where BG Wealth Sharing was started and told that she was to bring it into America. And then she would receive a healthy wage for doing so. The backhanders, that's what we're talking about. Right, so that's not a minor delay, that's a system under pressure. Now, just to be clear, there is no system, just want you to know that. But anyway, what I'm going to do here is not react to one video. I'm connecting the dots between what was promised publicly and what's happened privately inside the system right now. Because when you're line those 2 things up side by side, the contradictions are no longer subtle. They're impossible to ignore. So we're looking at before and afters. This is about one person misspeaking. This isn't about one person misspeaking or a temporary issue with withdrawals, this is about a pattern of promotion, recruitment, and control that I've documented time and time again. And once you see it clearly, you realize something is uncomfortable. The people at the top didn't believe in the system. Now, did you listen to that? The people at the top didn't believe the system. They've been preaching a lie. They sold it to others as something it never was. So they contradict themselves so much. There's no way that these people truly believe the system. I mean, I've heard people in videos in the last 24 hours telling us that they believe that the AI, that Stephen Beard was hacked and the AI character was saying things that he wouldn't normally say, not his tone. So they're alleging that the AI character has been stolen and now is preaching out lies. Why were you listening to an AI character in the first place? The sales pitch that built the machine. When I reviewed the Utah presentation, what stood out wasn't just the energy in the room, it was the certainty of the claims being made. There was no framing of risk, no room for doubt. Everything was represented as established fact. And that tone matters because it removes the very instinct people rely on to question what they are being told. Gaia positioned BG Wealth as a regulated, high-level financial system. Now remember, that's what she's done. She stood up on the stage and taken all doubt out of your mind, describing it as a US SEC-linked advisory firm and even referring to it as the world's largest hedge fund for retailers investors. At the same time, she dismissed the idea that it was multi-level marketing. And it had what we saw, 15 levels or 9 levels, while openly talking about ranks, teams, leadership structures. That contradiction wasn't explored. It was simply absorbed by the audience because of how confidently it was delivered. The profit narrative was equally direct. Members were told they could double their money in 60 days. I mean, this is what you were preached, guys. Hey, hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Help get this video out, and also tap the love heart button as much as you can, and that will get more people in here because we have a message that needs to be told. Supported by daily returns of around about, and this is batshit crazy now, right, guys? 1.3%. But I'm getting the withdrawals, so you don't know what you're talking about, to 1.8% per day. And all done through copy trading, copying an AI character. These were represented as possibilities. These weren't represented as possibilities. They were framed as outcomes already being achieved. And when you present results like that without context or verification, you're not informing people, you're anchoring belief. So if you went back and listened to that not that one, I'm going to put this side by side. If you listen to this speech here,
25 or 125 doesn't matter. When you bring in one person in BG Wealth sharing, you are a leader, in my perspective. You may not feel that you're a leader. You may not feel or think that, oh, you don't have the numbers to show, and that's okay. Because what I'm going to share with you is the power of compounding today. How many of you understand compounding? Me too.
So why would they want you to compound your money? Because any money that comes off the platform bleeds the system dry, and they want you to recruit and bring in new money. Right. So we'll just snip back to those videos every now and again when I need a drink. My email address is in the chat room there if anyone wants it. Please don't clog up my mailbox with screenshots and hundreds of messages. Try to make it a very precise one email that I can read, and then I'll file you away in my system. Thank you for the love hearts. What reinforces that belief wasn't transparency, it was visible success. Testimonials, recognition, and stage moments showing, luxury cars, clear debts, and large accounts created the impression that the system was not only working, but working consistently. It's a powerful psychological effect. When people see others winning, especially in a room full of reinforcement, they stop asking whether it's real and start asking how to get involved. This wasn't a balanced presentation. It was a controlled narrative designed to build confidence quickly and silence doubt before it could take hold. And once the belief is established, the system no longer needs proof. It runs on trust. You know, I've done these scams for years, guys. The system behind the story. If you strip away the stage presence and the confidence of the delivery, what's left is a very specific and repeatable mechanism. It's not complicated. In fact, what's part of the appeal, people are told to deposit funds into DSJ exchange, follow simple instructions, and let the system do the work. Copy, paste, confirm, that's it. Now, to get your money out, we know there's 40 steps to get your money out if you're lucky, but you can't do that at the moment. And also, you have to give away your identity and hold up your passport, your driver's license, give away your social security number, date of birth, your home address, everything, to some app that's now theoretically been hacked. From there, the routine becomes almost automatic. Members allow 1% of their balance to be used per trade. Oh my goodness. Follow daily signals, which no one watched anyway, you just cutting and pasting, and watch their accounts grow through what's described as compounding. We just heard her say that. At the same time, they encourage to bring others in, build teams, and unlock additional signals and rewards. It's presented as optional, but in practice, it becomes a central part of how people engage with the system. They were always telling you to recruit people. In fact, the best way to grow quick was to recruit. That's what they said. What this creates is two things running side by side. On one level, you have the appearance of trading activity and daily profits. On the other, you have a structure that grows through referrals, ranks, and incentives tied to expansion. These two elements are consistently reinforcing each other, which makes the system feel both attractive and sustainable, even if the underlying mechanics aren't clearly visible. We had no proof of anything they were claiming. Nothing. There's no liquidity pool. There's no trading platform. There's no legal trading platform even allowed to operate in America. And that's where the problem sits. There is no I'm going to have to read some of these words. Independently verifiable evidence that represent these trades are happening in the way that they are described, or that they are generating the consistent returns being claimed. People are telling us that their trades are 99% successful. What is visible is a closed environment, communication happening inside controlled channels like bond chat, dashboards showing internal balances, and strong reliance on community validation to reinforce belief. This is all about belief. This is like being part of a religious scam. A religious cult. Note, that's not transparency, that's containment. You can withdraw anytime until you can't. I mean, one of the clearest promises made during the Utah presentation was simple and repeated with confidence. Withdrawals are your right. And that was the quote that we had at the start of this blog. It was framed as one of the core pillars of the system. No restrictions, no barriers, no hesitation. If you wanted your money, you could take it. They didn't mention anything having to wait 8 weeks, though, did they? And getting a 20% penalty if you withdrawed early. That's what people were told. And more importantly, that's what they believed. Now, put your hand up if you're going to do this again. Are you going to look for another investment opportunity and pay $500? Or maybe this one will be only $300. Or maybe this one will be $50, because they will come out with these opportunities. And instead of 3 trades a day, you only have to do 1. Or they might come up with automated stuff where you just have to give them money. Don't do it. That claim matters because it sets the expectation. It tells participants they are in control. It removes the fear and usually comes with handing money over to a third party. And once that fear is gone, people are far more willing to commit, not just financially, but emotionally. That's right. It becomes, I love BG Wealth. Now, I've got BG Wealth t-shirts in my merch store. I'll eat my hat if I ever sell another one. And I don't think I even sold any. I did it as a joke. Now, compare what that to what we're seeing today. In her latest video, Gaga, I call her Gaga, openly states her own withdrawal has been pending for over 7 days. At the same time, she tells the audience that there are 700,000 requests in the system and all being processed in batches. Put your hand up, anybody that's been paid in batches or a batch. Were you in the first batch that got paid? What a batshit crazy thing to say to people. All subject to internal audits. Audits from who? Now, everyone is doing an audit now. You mean this company's deciding to have audits now? And who's doing the audit? Is it Certic? Is Certic doing the audit for BG Wealth Sharing? Members are being told to wait, to be patient, and to trust their turn will come. She's insinuated in the latest that payments are coming in batches and people are getting paid. Now, if anyone's going to be getting paid, I tell you who it's going to be. It's going to be these leaders that you see here in these pictures. Now, these people here, I have seen. Take their names. Anybody else that you know has been running a Zoom meeting, I want their Zoom links. I want their names. I want their phone numbers. First, last names is helpful. Help us fight these scammers. We have a database. This database here has got over 1,000 people in our persons of interest list. These people we've seen promoting Ponzi schemes and scams, one after the other. Look, I'll tell you something else that you won't know. CR Group LLC was a test case for BG Wealth Sharing in New Zealand. On the 25th of December, they told everyone they needed to put in 20% on top of their balances to get their money out. The whole system fell over. They rebranded themselves. As to Signal Raiders. And then the Avengers shut down their website, signalraiders.com, and the FMA in New Zealand has actually, and they had the same certificates, the same exchanges and the same everything. We shut them down. That company rebranded itself to BG Wealth Sharing. The FMA in here in New Zealand also rebranded their warning to BG Wealth Sharing. Now, there's another company out there right now called Swift Wave Capital, already experiencing withdrawal problems, exactly the same company as BG Wealth Sharing. Don't think this is different. These companies, there's no such thing as cut and pasting trading. So who else is there? There's another company out there and it's called Nexo. This company is a real laugh. Nexo is a real brand out there in the market. This CEO they've got, the genius, like Stephen Beard, is actually a real person. But he doesn't know his name's been used. And if you go to their PDF, you can come down here and you can see his name. He's a real CEO, a real person that doesn't know he's in here. I've reached out to him. Unfortunately, I can't correspond with him, but there's no way in hell he's running a cut and paste copy trading. Don't fall for new brands that come out like this. You'll just lose your money. We have been busting these scams for over 5 years. We have got over 200 scams in here. We have watched billions and billions of dollars being stolen from mum and dad investors because a friend or a family member has told you that this is the best thing since sliced bread. Not only that, and I can't even show you anymore, persons of interest, we've got all these people. So just one folder here goes into BG Wealth promoters. These promoters, this is not their first rodeo. They promoted other opportunities along the way, and they will now be trying to escape. Anyone that you have seen promoting, please reach out to me on my website. Now, the person that said they didn't have WhatsApp, you can go to my website, click on the Contact Us button, and you can actually go and if you click on Contact, you'll actually get to my page where you can actually submit information anonymously. So we want anyone that you've seen promoting these, let us know. We want to know who they are. Right. So where did we get up to, Danny? We got off track there a wee bit, didn't we? Trust to returns. That's not a small shift in the process. That's a fundamental change of how the system operates. So we're talking about people trying to get their money out. We're talking about 700,000 people trying to withdraw their money. You've got no money on the platform. The money's gone long gone. We've just got a very important update from the biggest crypto fighter in the world, telling us that in the last 7 days, $90 million have been laundered off the crypto wallets. He was actually searching for content and found me, and then realized I'd messaged him previously. Because once withdrawals are delayed, filters filtered or controlled, they stop being right. They become a request, one that depends entirely on the system approving it. And when that happens, the original promise doesn't weaken, it collapses. Now think about this for a while. If this was a real exchange and you had your money on Binance where you're doing some other trading and you want to take your money out, you wouldn't need to wait 20 days. You wouldn't need to pay 12% to transfer the money. You wouldn't need to pay a 20% penalty. Any system out there that makes you wait and you can't get your money back immediately, within seconds, it's been controlled by somebody who can put the handbrake on whenever they want. The language shifts from certainty to control. What stands out most here isn't just delay in withdrawals, it's the shift in language. When everything appeared to be working, the message was built around confidence and control. People were told they were in charge of their money, that withdrawals were always available, and the system represented a clear path to financial freedom. Now the tone has changed. Instead of empowerment, the messaging is focused on restraint. Members are being told not to panic, to be patient and trust the process when they don't even have a process. In one case, and in some cases, to consider how much they were trying to withdraw. Like, don't be greedy. There's also a subtle but important introduction of responsibility. The idea that if you truly understand the system, you wouldn't be reacting the way you are. So behave yourself, children. You shouldn't be acting in this manner. No panicking here. The shift isn't random. It's what happens when the system comes under pressure and needs to slow the rate in which money leaves. The only thing that's been fast about this is the money leaving the platform. The language is no longer about access, it's about behavior. And the behavior isn't being reframed in the way that benefits the system, not the individual. And that behavior is being reframed in a way that benefits the system, not the individual. So now all of a sudden you were the main squeeze, but now you are the main problem that they're having is you. You can see you can see it in how actions are being reinterpreted. Wanting your money back becomes a sign that you don't understand compounding. Asking questions becomes negativity. How many times have I gone into a room and say, we don't listen to negative people here when I'm asking a genuine question? Acting quickly becomes panic. These are not neutral descriptions. They are labels designed to discourage certain actions. Now, these guys are all trying to help you at the moment, don't want lawsuits. They don't want clawbacks. And that's what's going to happen if you act smartly. And give me those names. We'll put them all together for you. We've already got a WhatsApp group, which I hopefully Susie's probably put it out there at the moment. But we actually have set up a WhatsApp group where people are encouraged to come and join. And I'll see if I can get the link and put it in the chat room. How do we do that? Add members, invite community link. That might be a better one. Then we're going to go copy link. So we've actually set up a WhatsApp group, which Susie might have been in there furiously posting, but I'll put it in there. And you're all welcome to go in there, and we will post updates in there and tell you what's happening. It's not a recovery channel. And unfortunately, if people do go in there and start offering you to get your money back, please let us know so we can kick them out. We can't trust everybody in there because we try to manage it as best we can, but you know how it works. Don't listen. But anyway, please go in there and join that group, which would be really quite cool. Now, we've got a just in screenshot, which is quite cool. I'm just going to bring that up. Hopefully that's the only one. And we'll see if we can get it read. So what have we got here? I'll just get it read. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, so here's a message from BG Stephen Beard. Let's have a listen to this.
8% 1036, BG015 Wealth Sharon, Alf Shap, TBG Stephen Beard pinned message. What saddens me the most is not a th. Impresa no na colapsado. Yo no he colapsado, no he sidido anti aquelas chemia menazin, white hot as ilindert primero. 1034,
I think we're reading
BG. BG Stephen Beard. What saddens me the most is not that the newcomers are panicking, but that the old members who have already made money are withdrawing crazily, reporting like crazy, and spreading rumors recklessly. Lo que más me entristes no es.
Oh, it's in a different language. So there we go. So here's Stephen claiming that people, not the new members, but the leaders, the people that we're talking about, are trying to withdraw their money furiously, which is ridiculous. And to tell the truth, guys, the people that feed you, you don't bite the hand of the people that are feeding you. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of them are getting paid, even at this stage of the game. So this is how control is maintained when confidence begins to crack, not by restricting people outright, but reshaping how they think about their own situation. Now, we've got another. Is there going to be more of those? I'll wait for a wee second there. The compounding fantasy. Now, this is the really bad part, which I hate even mentioning. I just went to America 2 days after I got home. Christopher Delgado got charged with his connection to a $328 million Ponzi scheme and scam. And what they were told people, they stopped people getting paid, I think, October, November, and December. And they put people automatically onto hyper compounding. It's the first time I've actually heard hyper compounding. And basically, hyper compounding is a fantastic way of watching your balances on your fake app grow, thinking that you've actually got something tangible. But when anyone talks to you about compounding and how wise it is, it's just a load of rubbish because it's figures on a screen. And no doubt you guys are now probably not even able to access the exchange because all the domain names have been reported by the 12 different governments that wrote all these reports. Who knows? The compounding fantasy. And it's like Fantasy Island. Was it? A plane, Mr. Rock. Remember that, Fantasy Island? A central pillar of BG Wealth's narrative is daily compounding. It is repeated often, don't withdraw your money, reinforces with examples, and presents as an engine behind everything. Members are told that they can earn between 1 to 1.8 per day, with some scenarios pushing it even higher through additional signals. At first glance, those numbers sound attractive, but when you actually step back and run the math, the picture changes quickly. Even at the lower end, you're looking at returns that compound into hundreds of percent annually. So I did see somebody, if you put, I think, $1,000 into their platform, you were going to get, it was ridiculous. So I think $1,000 into the platform, you were going to get $111,000 in 12 months. And if you left that there hyper compounding for 2 years, I think you were going to get millions. Crazy, eh? Anyway, but where's that money come from? And it's all guaranteed trading. Wake up. Even at the lower end, you're looking at returns that compound into hundreds of percentages annually. At the higher end, the figures stop making sense entirely. There is no credible regulated financial institution anywhere in the world delivering consistent fixed daily returns at that level. Now think about this, guys. If their system was so amazing that you just needed to put $500 in it and wait for it to hyper compound, and by the end of 2 years you had millions, why would a company need your money to do that? Why don't they just keep it in-house, keep their mouth shut, and milk their own system and their own corporation? It's pretty obvious now, isn't it? And that's where the real fiction of the narrative becomes clear. Compounding isn't just being used to explain growth, it's been used to shape behavior. Members are repeatedly told that withdrawing funds interrupts the process, that pulling money out too early means losing future gains, and that true investors stay committed for the long term. Now, how many times, I think we showed one yesterday, the guy said he's not going to take his money out. He's going to leave it there because he's thinking the big picture, because he's been gaslighted into that way of thinking. Over time, that messaging creates a mindset where leaving money in the system feels like a smart move. Pretty smart. 700,000 people theoretically, if that lady's telling the truth, are now realizing they can't get their money out. But technically, that's smart, even when warning signs begin to appear. This is how capital gets trapped, because once people believe that their real gains are still ahead of them, they become far less likely to withdraw, and they already have. Okay. The focus shifts from securing profits to chasing larger ones, and in doing so, the system keeps hold of the very thing it depends on, your money. So while it represents as wealth building strategy, The effect is something else entirely. It's not just about making money. It's about keeping it inside the system for as long as possible. Now, I'm pretty sure that's pretty cool. Right, now we have got a Zoom meeting, and we do have another message from Stephen Beard. So we're going to actually put up the Stephen Beard message first, and we'll have a listen to see if I can get it there. And I'll read this because last time it didn't come through very well. Originally, BG Wealth Sharing exposed growth around the world. Initially, BG Wealth Sharing exposed growth around the world. Look, I can't read. This is why I practice things before I go live, and if I get something on the flight, it doesn't always help me. But let's see if I can read this. I'm just going to put this somewhere else. Let's have a listen.
Originally, BG Wealth Sharing's explosive growth around the world has already triggered jealousy from competitors and the attention of various troublemakers. The waves across the globe are huge, and it can be said that the company is currently being roasted on the fire. Any mistake will be magnified infinitely, and various public opinion investigations keep coming.
I need a passcode for that meeting, Suze. And also, did you notice what just happened there, guys? Did you notice what just happened with that message? I hope you did. In here, they told you that they have got competition from competitors. So what is a lot of people going to do? They're going to start searching for a competitor. Do you know who the competitor is? It's exactly the same people. This is the fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth rebrand of BG Wealth Sharing. 2 have already started, and now they're telling you they've got competitors. So what are most people going to do? They're going to search. They're going to search for a competitor. And that's what we need to do. So there is no competitor. It's the same company. And if you think you're cleverer than the scam and you can pull in, you can get out before you come in, you're mistaken. Do not think you can play this like you're at the casino. Right? So there we go. Don't have one. Don't have one. Okay, so we don't have one. That Zoom meeting link didn't come with the password there, Suze. Doesn't have one. Interesting. I'll just click on it again, make sure that we've got it right. You can see on my screen, I obviously need one. What's their normal password? BG Wealth? BG Wealth? I don't know. Just guessing here. We could try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyone else got a Zoom link password? I'll show you how we operate this, guys. This is what we do. So if I go ID and I put that Zoom link in here, normally I can find a Zoom link advertised somewhere. So this is a brand new Zoom link ID here, but there's nothing there. So let's carry on. This isn't MLM while building a hierarchy. This is so funny. One of the most repeated claims in the Utah presentation was BG is not a MLM, reinforcing bad behavior. It was clearly stated almost defensively, as if addressing a concern that the audience was expected to have. But what followed was a calm tell. The calm tells a very different story. Within the same presentation, we see structure built around levels, teams, and progression. People are recognized for reaching level 1 through to level 9. So there's 9 levels. There are incentives tied to bringing others into the system. There are leadership ranks, rewards, and visible status markers for those who build and expand through their networks. None of this is hidden. It's celebrated on stage, reinforcing through recognition, and used as motivation for others to follow the same path. This is not, I never get that word right.
Ambiguous.
So here's a lady on the stage saying this isn't MLM, but reinforcing every time somebody promotes and builds a team. It's a multi-level marketing structure where financial outcomes are directly influenced by recruitment and team growth. Whether someone chooses to call it MLM or avoid the label altogether doesn't change how it operates. The terminology can be adjusted, softened, and rebranded, but the mechanics remain the same. And those mechanics matter because when income is tied not just to participation, but to bringing others into the system, the focus shifts. It's no longer just about products or platform. It becomes about expansion. Growth becomes dependent on new participants, and success stories become tools for attracting them. So when you hear this is an MLM, it's worth looking past the label and focusing on what actually happening, because in the end, it's not the same. In the end, it's not the name that defines the structure, it's the behavior behind it. So it's really, really interesting. Now, I think it'd be worthwhile. I'm going to get rid of this one where she's telling you a whole bunch of porkies. I'm also going to get rid of that one. I'm going to leave those ones online. I'm going to make sure you know that Gagan is actually a mind coach who is trained to theoretically manipulate your mind. And we're just going to have a wee listen to this for a while. Give me a bit of a break for a wee while.
In BG Wealth Sharing, we learn how to use compounding on a daily basis with 2 codes per day, correct? Then if we are persevering and we are learning, we are paying attention, we can get 3 codes per day, correct? Okay. How many of you know that besides the trade account, as an investor or as a team member who has unlocked the 3rd signal, there is something called compounding of your talent, compounding of your time, compounding of your team? How many of you know those 3 things? Because we get into BG as an investor first, referrer second, team builder third. But if you can take advantage of how can you compound your time, your talent, your team through the power of duplication and replication, the trade account can go to more than $1 million in about 6 to 12 months. How do you do that? More power to BG. Dr. Beard is here to share everything that he's got with his community, with all of us. And we are 600,000 strong community in over 100 countries.
So I look at this and I think it's good for you guys to actually see this, because I think you really need to realize. Somebody sent me a photo, and I presume you want that on the screen just by email. Is this what we're looking at? So we're looking at please my refunds. So I'm just going to see if I can get that read, which would be quite handy. Release my refund. So I'm just going to see. I presume you wanted that on the screen. If not, I'm sorry, but I do believe that's what you've sent it to me for. I'm just trying to get that highlighted so I can read it. There it is. And let's see. It's quite, well, it's not funny, but I can read the words and some of it's quite funny.
1012-00L. Release my funds. I have already reported DS and BG to the relevant authorities. If you don't release my team's funds, you will be arrested and spend the rest of your life in prison. 1924.
Hopeful.
I don't care whether you're Steve, or some damn professor. Listen up. I'm going to make you beg. Do you really think staying silent will let you escape punishment? Are you hiding in some corner right now? One swear he'll find you, and he'll make you feel what a red-hot iron rod tastes like.
Ooh.
1933. One just want to watch your lousy platform collapse. Watch you go from a high and mighty boss to a homeless beggar on the streets. I want to watch your BG, boyfriend/girlfriend, be gnawed away piece by piece. I want to chew up your hypocritical facade until it's pulverized, until you regret ever being born such a lowly. 1934, you disgusting, backstabbing bastard. I've handed everything over to the FBI, your BG scam. DS, everything. I'm sitting here, eating popcorn, waiting to see your entire platform collapse, to see you lose every penny, and end up crying in the street like a pathetic conman. And Professor Stephen, that habitual liar, manipulative bastard, should go to hell. I hope he's locked up and tortured every day. You're all finished. I'll make you pay for your crimes in blood. I'll eat your flesh. Ella,
Ooh.
watch your so-called skyscraper crumble. 1939. DSI office. Resend BDH. IMG 1206.
Yeah, so my point, there's a lot of angry people out there, and unfortunately, I don't think you're going to eat them up. I think a lot of people don't realize you're not talking to a Stephen Beard, you're actually talking to a human trafficking compound. Honestly, I just don't know how to help you with that sort of thinking, but there's no way in hell you've got to get your money back. You're not talking to individuals, and you can direct that anger into fighting the next scams. I'm just trying to find a transaction here where we can actually see consistent amount of money's been lifted off the platform, sort of to help people. Here's one here. So just to give you an idea, 12 days ago, so over the last, I've forgotten what it was now, but we did actually have a screenshot from the biggest crypto fighter in the world, which I might have accidentally deleted, which is great. Let's see if I've got that here. Let's get rid of that threat. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. I can't obviously do that. Not now. But what I was going to show you is 12 days ago was the last time money got lifted off the crypto wallet addresses, and it was $88,000. If you looked at those numbers and looked, you can see literally $90 million in the last month or week, I think it was, I've forgotten now, has been lifted off the platform. And we've literally got all their wallet addresses. So if you're just tuning in now and you're thinking that you're going to get your money back because Stephen Beard's got a fistful of your money, you need to wake up and realize that you've just been part of. So look at this here. So 19 days ago, $100,000, $80,000, 50-50. Now, these are round figures because they're manually done. They're not from trading results. But you can go through here and, 19 days ago. So 19 days. So if we just go through and count all the 19 days, I think there's 20 on a page, and there's $50,000 in each line, sometimes 100, but let's just say 20 on a page. There's $1 million worth of money being laundered off exchanges after it's been, captured. And we go back 20 pages. So if you're wondering where your money is, it's been money laundered off crypto. And I don't know how to help people understand that. So, hurling abuse at people that don't exist, which are just a bank of cell phones, unfortunately, there's many of these wallets. So what we've done, if you want to learn more about that, there's a video here, and it's by Crypto G. He spent hours and hours and hours providing you guys information. And once again, I'm going to paste this in the chat room. And that there is a video that you want to bookmark and watch. Now, also, I don't know if I've actually collaborated with Crypto G. I think he's got to approve it. But if you don't know Crypto G, please do subscribe to his YouTube channel. I think I actually have, I'm going to make the point of the Avengers, and we're going to look for Crypto G, and I'm going to make sure that you guys actually have his YouTube channel because he doesn't get enough traffic. So if you could subscribe to his YouTube channel, it's in the chat box. I really appreciate it, and that's basically all us doing. But Crypto G is one of the Avengers, and he's helped us for ages, and that is a picture of the Avengers at the top. And if you didn't realize, there's 9 main Avengers. We counted them the other day, but we also have about 50 or 100 other Avengers that help provide us information. So we're always looking for people to help us. The people who drove it. Now, this is really important. So we're looking at these. This lady on the stage, she's just one of many. We've got these people here that you can see that have all been promoting it. Now we're all going to slip away. And we don't want you to do it. We want as much information. We want to know what you were told, when you were told it, how long you invested, how much money you invested, not because we're nosy individuals, but because we put that in our database. And then if we get contacted by the FBI, Homeland Security, the CFTC, the USSS, which we have done in the past, Texas Security Board have been brilliant working with us. The FMA have been friggin' hopeless. There's my regulator, just a wee dig there. The Commerce Commission, all these companies have done reports on these scams. And they're still doing the reports, and now the scam's fallen over, and now a lot of these government organizations have done the warnings, haven't done anything. But they do come back to us once they get individuals doing class action lawsuits, or maybe don't do that, but do a civil lawsuit against the person that referred you into it. And then once that gets traction, we can shadow people behind those lawsuits. But what you're going to find if you go to a lawyer, they're going to say they're not going to do it on no win, no fee. They're going to do it on give us $20,000. And that money won't be coming back to you while we do our investigation. But a lot of those literally a lot of lawyers reach out to us asking us for our information so they can use it in the courtroom. And that's what we're here for. All right. This didn't spread because one presentation or one personality. What we've seen documented is networked. The layered structure of promoters who amplified the message, reinforced the belief, and expanded the reach of BG wealth sharing across multiple countries. She just stood up on the stage there and she said that they're in 100 different countries. At the center of the network is this lady here, which we can never forget last name.
Gagan Sarkaria.
Gagan Sarcastic Cow, who positioned herself as both an educator and a leader. From there, the structure branches out through individuals like, now I'm going to read this whole paragraph because we mention a whole lot of people's names that we've got in our database, and we're literally going to be adding individuals. So for example, this guy here, I don't even know if this is his real name, but I was watching him on a video today. So if I was looking at this, if I go to my website and I click on About Us, and I'm going down to my blog, which is here, and I'm going to edit it, right? And then I'm going to go down till I get to the parts where the fantasy compounding, the recruitment, people who drove it, network widened. So now I'm going to come in here, and is that the right, have I got the right name on that? I've got an A at the end of it. So we're going to go to here. These guys here, and I'm looking for the big promoters. So I'm going to assume this guy here's a big promoter. Now, I don't have his contact details, but I wanted to have him in there. And just while I'm there listing, so I'm going to do some housework while we read this next paragraph. So here we go.
Cornelius Jones, Yitzhak Morrison, Milton Chisholm, and Bernard Ray, all of whom have been actively involved in promoting the opportunity and building teams. As the network widened, more names consistently appeared: Drew Burton, Thaddeus Thomas, Arthur Bankston Jr., Faye Anna Brown, and Dawn and Bill Keeler, each contributing to the same pattern of presentations, onboarding, and reinforcement. These weren't isolated efforts. They were part of a coordinated expansion, where the same message was repeated across different audiences with the same level of confidence.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring those names up. As you can see, I'm still doing my homework because I think we don't want to forget those names, and we don't want those people to remember these guys are snake oil salesmen, aren't they? And they are basically sleuthing away right now. And you don't know what to do. You don't know who to go after. And you really want to focus on an AI character called Stephen Beard, who's now shut down Bond Chat and opened up multiple accounts with, what do they call it, with Telegram. And do you really believe these new Telegram groups are actually ran by the people that were running BG Wealth Sharing? Have you been told that? So how do you know that these Telegram groups that you're all running away to aren't actually ran by the crypto recovery companies? And I can tell you now, that is exactly who they are. There's absolutely no one running these Telegram groups other than a few promoters. And you want to believe that because, you know, this is true. Now I've lost my way here. Now we'll ring up Tione. We'll get you there in a minute. We're just going to finish this blog.
As the network widened, more names consistently appeared: Drew Burton, Thaddeus Thomas, Arthur Bankston Jr.
Now we read that. Now Thaddeus Thomas, I call him Thaddeus Thomas, and all those names, Dawn and Bill, Fiona Brown has already started promoting other Ponzi schemes. Been kicked out of BG Wealth because she started sharing another Ponzi scheme that was owned by the same company. Let's just go to this one here.
What becomes clear when you look deeper is how broad this actually is. Figures like Dr. Emmanuel Bernstein, Chance Carlson, Marcus and Angela Smith, Randy and Sonia Crosby, Mark and Kim Brown, Oliver Sagala, and Josie G. Galizia were all positioned within this ecosystem, helping to sustain momentum and credibility as the scheme grew.
Yeah, as the scheme grew. Now, I've just got some stuff here which I want to download, but it's going to be, I want to download and see if it lets me download all of them. I'm just going to see if it does. And then I'm going to put all these into ChatGPT. I'll see if we've done this right, because we just received a whole lot of screenshots live. Thank you very much. Could you type right? And then I'm going to say, could you please put these all in order and print to screen so I can have them read? Oh, okay, here we go. I've got a video coming up. I'll do that in the meantime, but looks like Susie's got me a video. Oh my God, this is funny. Let me get this. What have we got here? So we've...
Greetings and hello from me.
Here we go.
This is Stephen.
Okay, you're going to enjoy this one, guys. If I can get this back to my computer, it will be good. Let's have a look here. So we've got a Telegram video of Stephen Beard looking even worse than the weird than he ever has. So we're going to have a listen to this. Stuff's coming in live, which is quite exciting for us. Okay, here we go.
Greetings and hello from me. This is Stephen. So I never left you back or something like that. So please be rest assured because I'm here with you.
Now, remember Stephen said a wee while ago that he's actually coming from Beijing. He said it in one of his presentations. Don't know if you picked up on that, but we pick up on everything. Now, all of a sudden, he's in a different environment. He's out of the office. He's got big glasses on. He could be anybody. And in the world that we live in, and he's theoretically living from Beijing, all of a sudden he's given us what looks like a 320 DPI video to give you some reassurance. But let's have a listen to this rubbish.
And I totally understand this. Right now we're in a very difficult phase, and we have to face some difficulties as well. So, but please be assured everything will be taxed and calculated properly, and everybody will have money on the balance soon enough this month, just recent days. Also, I would like to emphasize that I do understand the DSGX approach because, of course, main interest of the company in the first place. Yeah, but please do not worry. Try to be problem-oriented, right? Do not let any emotions to overcome you.
Okay, so don't get emotional, guys. Just sit there and tough it out and be positive.
All right, so next, as for our weekly Zoom meeting, I'll pass this time because we have more important things to do, and I have to be concentrated.
No weekly Zoom meeting tonight, guys. Sorry about that. I'm busy. Got more important things to do.
On these issues that appeared. So in any case, please maintain order, just wait patiently, and also the most important one, you definitely need to follow the Bone Chat official account, right? So our groups and everything, because...
So how do you know which one is the official? Now, Queen of Karma, I don't know why I reckon that you could use anybody's phone number and set up Signal, and then you can hide the phone number that you use to set it up, and then we can send you stuff, because I love sending you stuff, and Discord always asks me for Nitro before I send any files. Just saying.
Most essential and important information will be revealed there. And after all, please do not answer any, because our enemies are trying to use this disadvantage to their advantage right now. So in any case, you must not reply to the personal messages or something like that from me, from Elena, or anyone else. Just try to concentrate on the Bond Chat, follow the instructions, and everything should be fine and normal. It's not the first time for BG Wealth Sharing to face difficulties like that, but definitely we'll overcome them, just like we did before. So please maintain order, be patient, and just follow the group. That's it. All the essential and the most reliable information, the only reliable information, will be over there. So please do not worry about anything. Just be calm, just like me. I'm also trying to be calm. I understand it's not easy. You have anxiety and worries, but in any case, we definitely supposed to maintain order here. Just have to wait until taxation and everything is going through the procedures. And after all, we've been through so many times. I would like just to say a few good words to you. We even had adverted things on our part before. But right now, at this time, it's also a regular check of our cohesion and our structure and our belief. So please again, maintain order. I'm here. I never left, so I'm still fighting for you. So everything will be normal. Just please try to give it some time. The problems will be solved soon enough, and everybody will be holding their withdrawals. You'll be able to withdraw your money, so just soon enough. Just be patient. And after all, please do not hesitate to reach our official accounts if you do encounter any problem. So our staff is doing everything possible.
Where's the officers?
To maintain order and to solve all these problems and difficulties we have now. So please stay with BG, stay believe, and do not hesitate to reach us out. All right. More information you know, the better. But please do not let any surrounding voices to overcome the normal procedures which we actually given to you through the bond chat. All right, please do not forget, bond chat is our everything, so we need to follow it in order to get the best results. All right, so
give me 12%.
Give us some time. Thank you very much for your attention. Unfortunately, this meeting, like I said, is not going to be held this week, but we'll proceed it to the next time.
Next week?
First, the priority here is just to solve these problems we have now. Once they're solved, we'll back to normal.
Back to normal.
Be patient, as always, like I'm
silly me.
trying to, and stay with us. Thank you so much. Bye.
Now, I wouldn't mind betting that is the real Stephen Beard without all the caper on his face. With it, that's why it's a poor video. So that's some news to hand. So what I've done was received a whole lot of screenshots, and we've just received 2 more from individuals. So I'm just going to please also add the text of these, print the screen so I can have them read. Okay, so that's cool. So what we're going to do is we've got some screenshots. I'm not going to put the screenshots, and we've put all this together. I'm actually going to get the sexy voice of this to read it. Let's have a read. Let's see what we've got. Hopefully you can hear it.
I've gone through all the screenshots and put the messages in chronological order based on the timestamps. I've also cleaned them up so you can read them clearly on a teleprompter or for
thank you very
evidence.
much. Right.
There are people now who are riding on our traffic. Competitors attacking us, media outlets trying to get traffic, black bloggers extorting, fraud gangs teaming up to scam money from everyone, and various issues keep coming. 10:30? I'm like your nanny, serving you in every way. Do you really feel good about this? Originally, BG Wealth Sharing's explosive growth around the world has already triggered jealousy from competitors and the attention of various troublemakers. The waves across the globe are huge, and it can be said that the company is currently being roasted on the fire. Any mistake will be magnified infinitely, and various public opinion investigations keep coming. Please have more understanding. I'm not asking anyone to be grateful, just say fewer negative words. A big cake can be ruined by a single rat's droppings, and when one person does it, others will follow. How can the rest still eat it? What saddens me the most is not that the newcomers are panicking, but that the old members who have already made money are withdrawing crazily, reporting like crazy and spreading rumours recklessly. When encountering anything, please learn to think from others' perspectives. Does BG Wealth Sharing not have the power to solve problems today? Does DSJEX not have the power to solve problems? Can't we solve problems? You can say you haven't experienced it, but ask your referrer, your team, haven't they experienced it? Do you not have any idea in your heart? Everyone is making money through the company. You are, and so do I. So tell me, what benefit do you gain if the company collapses today? The company is bearing such huge public opinion pressure to help everyone deal with things. The company hasn't collapsed. I haven't compromised with those threatening me, yet you want to give up first. Final, same sequence continuation. Think about it carefully. From when you invested $300, I've been researching the most stable trading codes to help you earn money. If the website login failed, I gave you a new one. If you couldn't do the advanced verification, I guided you step by step. If withdrawals were delayed, I even had to comfort you.
Isn't it crazy? So if the psychologicalness behind that is quite amazing. I mean, if you're listening to this stuff and you're thinking it's real and you're thinking somebody's feeding you this information, you're literally getting fed information from human trafficking compounds. They've got a team full of people there working out a scenario to exit so you guys can't find out who's behind it. It's not even rocket science for me. It's just another day in the office. So we received 2 other screenshots, which I haven't read. It's always interested. So this is from Gaga, whatever her name is.
Gagan Sarkaria.
All right, so she's giving messages to the team, and I'll get the lady to read it again. She did such a lovely job. I can't pause it, so we're listening to it. Also, if once you've got Signal installed in your computer, Queen of Karma, you don't need to have it installed on your phone. It runs off your website. That's how I use it, web browser.
Here is the cleaned, readable transcription from the additional screenshots, formatted so you can easily read or use on a teleprompter.
BGW trade signaled from Gagan Sarkaria.
Grand rising, my dear team. I went to bed at 4:45 a.m. just
soul.
now waking up. Heads up, nobody's going to use the code that has been issued on BondChat. Here's why. This is my thought process, but again, I can only share what I think and feel. The rest is up to you guys.
Oh, put it back on you.
I don't think the code will work because from what I am analysing and assessing, the links that were shared from May 1st to May 3rd on Team India server have been hacked. However, the exchange is still active and manual trading is possible because I've got some really great leaders there who are technically very savvy and expert. They have tried manual trading and it's going through. So if you use the code in your trade account now, it will not go through. Then the community will start posting invalid parameter or it didn't go through or whatever. That's how these people are going to get to you, saying, oh, you did not pay 12% tax. That's why your trade account is not going to work. You will only be able to do it if you pay the tax, which is wrong information. We are not paying 12% tax or nothing to no one. 2, then there will be screenshots posted to convince people, yes, woohoo, I won, my trade went through. Etc. These are all brainwashing mechanisms.
She knows about them.
We're not going to go into that trap.
Oh, no.
3, the real Dr. Beard will never post BondChat IDs or any sort of private information related to a BG member in public groups. I've started to notice personal information being posted in public groups. Some of those ID numbers don't make sense. If you want next step,
So this is the lady who's giving you those messages now. Now she's trying to help you. But she's not helping you. You need to go after her because she's not helping you. She's trying to exit the scam. And she's trying to be she's nurtured you into this. And now she's nurturing you along into, what they put you in BondChat for so that you couldn't see past the hands. And this is the problem.
And I'm very confident before we end our 5-month, 5-city tour, we will hit our mark of 1 million proud BG members. Who's in it with me for that? All right. So let's start our presentation. If we can have the first slide up, which is the disclaimer slide. How many of you can sit here for an hour to learn? Okay. All right.
So what have you guys learnt from this? All right, so let's go back to where we were. We've mentioned now there's a whole lot of promoters that you need to go after, and I've done this time and time again. You won't be able to go after BG Wealth Sharing because they don't exist. They don't have a company. They don't have a real CEO. They have no structure. They have no offices. They have no support center. They have nothing. So the only people that you can go after are the people that promoted you into it. That's it. That is your only hope, and there's no other hope. And it's good because this lady that we're going after today is in Texas. That means you can go down to the local police station and file a complaint about her. You can say that I invested $20,000 into this BG Wealth Sharing because this lady told me to. She told me, and you could go through that video. Now, just to show you something really cool. This video here has a link at the top of it. If you copy the link, you go to my website, which isn't a good example of my website. Right. And now what you do is you go to utilities and you can go down to one that's called transcript. And it's down here. You put that transcript into here and you go extract. So now I've got the whole presentation that she's written, and I literally go copy the script. I go to AI, which is going to come up on my screen again. I'll use this one. And I've got a folder called BG Wealth Sharing. I've actually already started this blog, so I'm going to use this thread. And I'm going to say, this is the transcript from her video. And I want you to give me a short list of all the false statements that she gave me to encourage me to invest, so I can go and report her to the authorities. All right, so then you paste that in there. And this is just a simple way. So let's just say, so I've got the transcript from her video, what she stood up on stage and said. And here is the key misleading statements that she made on behalf of an organization that she can't even prove that exists. All right. So now what we're going to do is, what I want to do now, what we're going to do is, can we please, I want to put this into a Google Doc where people can download it who have been scammed by this lady, that they can use to report. Can you put together a document that I can give people who have been scammed, who may be struggling, on what they can do about it and who they can complain about, and who they can complain to? All right, so I'm just doing this real rough because I'm like live. But in saying that, I'm now going to go and get this. Watch this, kids. I'm opening up a Google Doc. I'm opening up this document. I'm putting a title in here. All right. I'm going back to the right one. I'll get rid of this one. I'm going to here. And this is really rough, but this is how you can use ChatGPT. Okay. So copy. And I've got here, and I've got my document. Okay, and I'll get rid of that. Ooh, right, option what you can include. Now we've got perfect removing yourself, reports, BG Wealth. Right, so victim reporting guide, I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller so it's on one line, and we will even make that centered just for fun. How can take action? So there you go, there's your report. So now what I need to do is I need to share that with people in the audience. We copy the link. Pretty sure that's going to be restricted. Here we go. So done. Right. So now in the chat room, I'm going to give you the link to this. And that means you can go and actually look at that document in real time. And you can do that. So I'm just going to have a look at the poll that we've got. 100 votes. Amazing. So we've got 25% of people are saying they're survivors. 39% of people are saying they were victims. And 36 of you people in the chat room actually want to be an Avenger and help us fight these scams. That is absolutely fantastic. So we're going to promote that now. Right. So now I'm going to explain this to, right. So now what I'd like to do, I would like to create a new poll that I can ask people in my chat room to get some good stats that have been scammed by BG Wealth Sharing. Okay, so I'm just going to see our poll. And I actually have a command to write polls. And we'll start up another poll in a second before we go into the next part of this talk. And while I'm doing this, we might actually, where are we up to? Instead of, so we're going to, so we've gone through all those names and the disappearance of the narrative. So we're just going to read this while I'm getting the poll ready. And then they'll give you something to listen to. Here we go.
The disappearance of the narrative. There's another detail here that's easy to miss if you're only looking at the presentations, but once you see it, it's hard to ignore. Gagan Sarkaria's online presence has shifted. The YouTube channel that was actively used to promote and educate around BG wealth sharing appears to have been renamed or removed. At the same time, her main website is still live, still polished, still presenting her as a high achievement business coach, consultant, and multi-brand operator. But there is no mention of BG wealth sharing anywhere on it.
Yeah, so if you think about that, guys, so if you went to, we're just using her as an example, but she is the main key figure behind this, in my opinion. So once upon a time, when I started going after her, we documented her YouTube channel. So her YouTube channel has been removed. And when you go to her website, her international brand, where she's a coach or a life coach or a mindset coach, or whatever she wants to call herself these days. And she also had another domain name, which is .com. And I went to the .com version. So it's Gaga, whatever her name is, .international. That works. And when you go to the .com version of her domain name, it seems to hang. So this lady, under her own professional branding, didn't promote BG Wealth at all. So if this lady truly believed what she was preaching, why didn't she have it on her international brand? And why has she removed or, taken her YouTube channel down? So what I did after I saw that is I went searching for her YouTube channel by simply going to here, putting her name in here. And what do we find? Well, we find a whole lot of other YouTubers that are promoting her at the moment. But none of her own videos are hosted under her own brand. So this lady is now sending out messages through what you're led to believe. So we've got a high achievement coach here, but this is not her. Well, this is her, but on here, there's nothing to do with BG wealth sharing. So this lady is a fraud. She's a fraudster. She's not a nice person. She's a predator. She's come after you. She's encouraged you to invest in BG wealth sharing, and now she's hung you up to dry, and you are thinking that this lady is a good person. So here's a disclaimer they want you to read.
So we're going to go to that part. So we have the disclaimer. My job today is to kind of not only educate you, but also give you a glimpse of how I do my normal presentations. How many of you have watched my videos to build their business?
And how's your business going? And what is the business she was telling you to build? Becoming a recruiter. It's disgusting. Look, we'll leave her there for a bit and we'll go back to my blog. That's not a small, what do we call it?
That's not a small omission, because this wasn't a side project. This was something she stood on stage and spoke about with authority, something she encouraged others to build around, something she positioned as a pathway to financial freedom. And yet, when you look at her controlled, public-facing business presence today, that entire narrative has quietly disappeared. That raises a very simple question.
Why distance yourself from something you were so confident at promoting? If BG wealth sharing is exactly what it represented to be, regulated, profitable, sustainable, then there would be no reason to remove it from your public identity. In fact, you would expect the opposite. You would expect it to be the front and center showcase as a flagship of success. But that's not what we're seeing. Instead, what we're seeing is a return to border, safe positioning, coaching, consulting, publishing, personal development, areas that don't carry the same immediate scrutiny as a financial platform, making aggressive return claims. And that's where the absence becomes meaningful, because when something is removed without explanation, especially after being promoted at scale, it often tells you more than the original promotion ever did. So, I can't express to you enough, this lady is a bottom feeder on the planet. She's driving around in a car given to her by the human trafficking compounds. She was paid probably to initiate the growth of BG wealth sharing. And now she's guiding you through the process on how to be patient, remain calm, and trust the system that she encouraged you to set up with. And as I've said previously, this lady is not alone. These are not all the faces I want all the faces. Now, the other scam and Ponzi scheme that we blew the whistle on back on the 1st of September 2025 was Goliath Ventures Inc. We currently have 330 plus people on our persons of interest list. Here, I think we've got around about 40 odd people who we've seen key figures, key people promoting this Ponzi scheme and scam. You know, right through to somebody we just found today. One funny, you know, we've got YouTubers. We've got Mark and Kim Brown who were doing videos about how they had paid cash for their land and now they're going to put a mortgage on and build a house on their property, and they bought a Winnebago and they were traveling around the world. You know, we've proven to you guys, you know, we've got this lady here, Dawn and Bill. Dawn, we stormed into her Zoom meeting and said, what are you doing? This lady tried to file for bankruptcy 3 times in 10 years. 18 months ago, with help of her husband, Bill, managed to file for bankruptcy. They had $500,000 in debt. This lady is a YouTuber who's promoting all these videos that have now been turned to private, you know, which is crazy. But what is she doing now? She's trying to duck for cover. So if we go to her YouTube channel, and her YouTube channel's been removed. These are the same people that were promoting these Ponzi schemes and scams. If you want Dawn and Bill's phone number, I have it. If you got introduced by Dawn and Bill, you're going to find all these people sliding away like snakes, oil salesmen. The reality behind the numbers. Right now, members are being reassured that their money is still there. What's the time? I got 30 minutes before I go live onto a live broadcast. Right now, members are being reassured that their money is still there, that withdrawals are on the way, and the system is simply under pressure. On the surface, that sounds reasonable. Delays happen. Systems get overloaded. But when you look at enough of these operations, you start to recognize something that isn't just a delay. It's a pattern unfolding in real time, because this isn't new. What we're seeing follows a sequence that has played out again and again, similar schemes. It begins with rampant growth. And I tell you what, BG Wealth Sharing is the fastest I've ever seen. I said to my Avengers, this one is going to be the biggest scam that hits the planet. I've never seen anything grow as fast as this. Who helped it grow? Peter Beard? Sorry, Stephen Beard? Who helped it grow? Put your hand up. Put a 7 in the chat room. Go on. Who helped it grow? Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can participate and put your stuff. If you're on your mobile phone, log into your YouTube account. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. We want you here. We want to help victims. Who helped it grow? It is the people. We've had 47 votes in the new poll already. 57% of people are telling us they're still waiting to withdraw. Who got you into it? Who was your sponsor? Go to deheck.com, go to the Contact Us page, flood my inbox with emails telling me who sponsored you into it. It will be anonymous. You can use anonymous@gmail.com to send it through the form. After that, we don't know you existed. We're doing it because we want to find the ringleaders behind this scam, because they'll be on to the next scam and they'll be offering you a way to trade out of this. What we're seeing follows a sequence that has played out again and again in similar schemes. It begins rapid growth, driven by recruitment and reinforced by early success stories. People saying, I get my money out. What do you know? Look at my balance on my phone. People see results. Withdrawals are processed. The confidence builds. The confidence becomes a fuel for expansion. Before long, the system reaches a point where incoming money is expected to keep everything moving. Then the pressure starts. Withdrawals increased. The people want to take money out that put money in. Remember, everyone was waiting until they got to $5,000 and they were just waiting and waiting, and then they never got to withdraw. That's when the language begins to shift. Delays are introduced, audits are mentioned, and members are encouraged to stay calm. It doesn't stop overnight. Instead, the system begins to slow down in a controlled way. We watched $90 million be lifted off the platform in the last few days. $90 million have been lifted off the BG Wealth platform. We've got the receipts. We've got all the wallet addresses. Crypto G has put them in his video. If you want to find the wallet addresses and you want the story between BG Wealth Sharing you can go into his, into here, and you can get all these wallet addresses where you can see your money walking away, being laundered through crypto. There's his wallet. Go make sure you subscribe to that video. Help him out if you can. Okay. And that's the critical moment. Everything gets slowed because from the outside, it still looks functional. Accounts show balances. Are you still able to see how much money you've got frozen? Of course you can. That's how they keep the illusion alive. It's just a delay. Communication is still active. Well, we just saw a photo of Stephen Beard, didn't we? We saw a video. Leaders are still reassuring their teams, and that's exactly what's happening. Are you guys batshit crazy? But underneath the surface, something fundamentally has changed. The ability to meet withdrawals demands consistently. At that point, the system doesn't collapse in a dramatic way. It stalls, it stretches, it fragments. It's like cracking an egg, hoping it's going to crack and all the juice is going to run out, but then you realize it's hard boiled. And by the time, that's a bad example, by the time most people realize what actually is happening, they no longer are deciding whether to stay or leave. They're waiting, hoping, reacting to a system that they've already moved beyond that has already moved beyond their control. So you're along for the joyride now. You've been put inside Bond Chat. You've been told to do 3 trades a day. You've been told to cut and paste text from one platform to another. 700,000 people use the same code, and you were told that that is how you do trading, and you believed it? Sorry that you believed it. That's not how real trading works. Also, the exchange that they claim was real is fake. We showed you how we gave you the code from the developer who made the website for DS Exchange. We told you about 12 different government warnings that you guys thought the governments just don't want you to have a financial, a passive income opportunity. They hate people having a passive income opportunity. They're just posting lies. Websites like Behind MLM. Now, Behind MLM is actually an unsung hero. Here he is. This is the most I've ever seen him post. People are now being told to pay fake taxes. He's posted over 12, at least 12 different posts on his website. And, this guy, if you can support him in any which way, Samoa, Namibia, Washington, Canada again, Utah, maybe Australia, I can't even see, but these are all the posts that he's done. Samoa, to help you guys. We're still going. We're on page 2 now. BG Wealth here, Tonga, BG Wealth. So Canada, we're up to BG Wealth. Right, so now we've got all these warnings have been published by Oz, our friend of our channel, trying to warn you guys that these are scams, not to listen. But you've chosen to ignore. You ignored the evidence. And I'm not rubbing salt in the wound, but hopefully you can see the fight that myself and my Avengers put into doing this, and how much effort and time and how much abuse we get told. I'm doing this for YouTube clicks, apparently. I'm doing it for you guys to buy me a cup of coffee. Don't buy him a cup of coffee. He's just trying to save us. He's just trying to save us. He's got a hidden agenda. What do you think my hidden agenda is? Let's carry on. The hard truth. Is that hard truth for you guys? I'm going to say it clearly because people deserve clarity, not comfort. The presence of a balance does not mean the presence of fund. A number on a screen can be updated at any time. If their system has been hacked, then who's keeping the app alive? Who's issuing all the domain names that you're getting all those phishing warnings for? It can go up at any time. It can go down and can give the appearance of growth. We're talking about the app. But unless that number can be converted into money in your control consistently without delay, it's not the same thing as liquidity. And that distinguishes where most people get caught out. The amount of people who said, I've made $400 and hold up the app, I'm going, oh my God. Right now, members are being reassured that everything's still there. The withdrawals are coming and the delays are temporary. But pending withdrawals is not a payout and a promise, no matter how confidently the person delivers, is not a guarantee. The only thing that matters is whether the funds are being released in the way that matches what was originally promised. So when you go back to here, this lovely lady on the stage.
But I started doing my BG Wealth Sharing plan presentations every Tuesday night. I am so proud of my organization. We produce quality. We produce passion. We produce commitment, and we produce drive. And I'm here to share with you this slide deck that I designed as a birthday gift for Dr. Stephen Beard last year in December, because he kept saying, Gagan, what is it in your meetings that everybody keeps asking me for your presentation slide deck? I said, are they not in my organization? He says, no. I said, okay, we'll figure something out for the entire community. How many of you are using this deck for your presentations? Please give me a big shout out. Okay. If you want to do presentations...
So she oozes confidence, doesn't she? But I suppose most of you guys are now reaching for a bucket. So no matter how confidently it's delivered, is what we just said, the only thing that really matters is whether the funds can be released in the way that matches the original promise. And this is where the situation becomes very real. When you have hundreds of thousands of people trying to withdraw at the same time, the dynamic changes completely. It's no longer whether the system works in principle. It becomes about whether it can meet demand under pressure, because that's the moment where the difference between perception and reality is exposed. At that point, the question shifts to no longer will I get paid? It becomes who gets paid first and who doesn't. So like I said at the onset of this, are the leaders that you see here who've been religiously promoting this in Zoom meetings illegally, yes, illegally, are they actually going to get paid, if anyone's going to get paid first? That is a question. They are selective. They always have. And I've honestly seen people in these scams previously get backhanders even after the scam has released. Now, I'll give you a first-hand example. Sam Lee, we had a screenshot of him paying out Gareth Blakely a $55,000 payment after they sent out a letter to everyone saying that they got hacked and their system had no money left in it. So he paid off a promoter for $55,000 after they told everyone that they had been robbed and lost all their money. So, it's just how it works. So that message just come in now, Susie. So should we read that one? I'll just see if I can get that one. So Susie is one of our Avengers, and she's got another message from her. We're just going to see if we can listen to this one.
From Gagan Sarkaria a few minutes ago. Hi team, I'm still investigating this matter. I don't know what to say, but until I get the all clear, I won't execute any code I received from BondChat. I've told my leaders the same and posted it in all groups. We're not paying the 12% tax to anyone. No centralized or decentralized crypto exchange or any third-party auditing team can claim our deposits in the name of tax. If anyone does, it's a red flag. We only pay taxes to the IRS. Through our W-2 forms, we can request our employers to deduct a certain portion of our salary as tax. However, we are not W-2 employees of DSJ Exchange, so this rule does not apply to us. What if a hacker gained access to BondChat and sent us some code that we executed? That code could potentially gain access to our trading accounts. This is extremely risky. My advice is to not execute any code that comes to BondChat during this difficult time. Until we receive a green signal or a complete clear, please remain calm and avoid any rash actions. Some members have also reported that their DSJEX deposit wallet addresses for Ethereum and USDT ERC20 have changed. I haven't verified this myself, but I will soon. We need to find out where the real Stephen Beard is, and in the meantime, if we don't have to trade for a day or 7, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Take this as a vacation. It's a time to reconnect, stay grounded, and reconnect as a community. Then, together, we can decide which direction to take and how. Thank you so much for your patience, prayers, support, and understanding during this difficult time. This difficult time will soon pass. 22M.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's the latest hope. And remember, guys, because you don't have to trade 3 times a day, it's a time to reflect on life and the universe and spend time with your family. So I'm about to go on a podcast in about 13 minutes. So we're going to just read through some of this here, and we will. So what's the reality of what actually has happened?
What this really is, BG Wealth Sharing presents itself as a trading platform, a financial education system, and a wealth building opportunity. That's the surface level identity, the version people are introduced to through presentations, testimonials, and onboarding calls. It's designed to feel modern, accessible, and structured in a way that removes complexity while promising strong outcomes. But when you step back and analyze what's actually happening, not just what's being said, a very different picture starts to form. You're looking at a system that controls how money enters and how it leaves, where deposits are simple and fast, but withdrawals become conditional once pressure builds. You're looking at a structure that relies on continuous inflow to maintain momentum, reinforced by internal dashboards that show growth, but don't provide independent verification of where that growth is coming from. And alongside that, you have a strong emphasis on recruitment and expansion, which helps sustain the system while reinforcing belief among participants. None of these elements exist in isolation. They work together. The messaging keeps people confident. The structure encourages growth. The mechanics keep funds inside. And when stress hits the system, the narrative adjusts to maintain stability for as long as possible. That combination isn't accidental, it's what allows the operation to function the way it does. So while it's presented as innovation, education, or opportunity, the underlying structure points to something else. This isn't financial innovation. It's a closed financial loop, supported by external marketing and internal control.
Yeah. Yeah, now if everyone's behaving themselves in the chat room, we do have people in there that can kick people out. So be nice to each other if you can. A lot of people, we get a lot of bots. And I mean this really, I'm not just saying this because I don't like negative comments, but we do get a lot of bots on our videos. Like last night, if you go through my video that got about 4,000 views, we've got bots in there saying that they're withdrawing money all the time. We've got one individual who's saying they've just withdrawn $54,000 from the platform and they're showing off about it. So all those people there are all there to keep the illusion alive that you potentially, there's some sort of hope about what's happening. So I've got 15 minutes here. Collapse. Now, if you've not been listening to what I've been doing, I'm dying to go to the loo, which I'm going to duck away and do in a few minutes. I'm actually going to go live and be on somebody else's podcast. And I suggested to them that we actually did it live while I'm live, which will make it quite interesting. So we'll be rebroadcasting a live recorded, well, not live, but I'll be doing a live, and it will be a podcast that will get released as a premiere for some YouTuber. I don't even know who they are, but they have been investigating BG Wealth Sharing and they just want my viewpoint on it. I said, well, I'm live at the time when it works, so how about we record it live? And they said, oh, that sounds like a great idea. So we're going to just try something different. So it could all fall apart. And if it does, I'll get myself out of there and come back here. But in the meantime, you can watch me record a live podcast, which is quite exciting. That's quite cool. 92 people have voted. Still waiting to withdraw 57% of people. Well done. Keep voting. That would be awesome to know that statistics. And if you've got any suggestions, anyone else, perhaps Susie might want to come up with a poll that we could ask people. And let's, we can have one question and 4 answers, just in case you're wondering.
The collapse phase has begun. What we are witnessing right now is not the beginning of BG Wealth Sharing. It's the beginning of the end phase, the point where pressure builds, cracks start to show, and the narrative shifts from confidence to control. This is the stage where everything gets tested. Confidence starts to wobble. Withdrawals slow down or become restricted. Leaders who once spoke with certainty begin changing their tone, and anyone raising concerns is quickly labeled as negative, misinformed, or an outsider trying to cause damage.
Yeah, an outsider trying to cause damage. Now, the fact that they're even claiming that people are like hackers are there and all that sort of stuff. is actually laughable. There's no hackers, everyone. This is just how they exit these strategies.
At the same time, something more subtle begins to happen. Reality starts to surface not all at once, but in fragments. A delayed withdrawal here, a conflicting explanation there, a quiet disappearance of content or messaging. Each piece on its own might be dismissed, but together they form a pattern that becomes harder to ignore. And this is the part most people underestimate. The real damage isn't just financial, it's relational.
Okay, I'm trying to update my my name on Zoom because it's not my name, and the people will wonder why I'm there as Danny DeHeck and I'm in there as a different name. So I'm just trying to figure out how to update my my account. Really, 1 second, please. Yes, hope that makes sense. I'm just trying to multitask here, guys. We'll go straight into the next paragraph.
Because people weren't just investing, they were bringing others in. Friends, family, entire communities were introduced under the belief that this was something legitimate, something safe, something worth sharing. That trust wasn't accidental. It was built deliberately through confidence, repetition, and visible success. Now those same people are being told to stay calm. And that's the moment where everything changes. Because once trust breaks, it doesn't reset. It doesn't rebuild overnight, and it doesn't come back just because the system says it will. No amount of compounding can fix that.
Yeah, so I hope that's sort of helped you guys. I wanted to read that blog, and I wanted you guys to understand how it all works. So that the only way you're going to get your money back, guys, ladies and gentlemen, is literally by going after the promoters. It's the same way that BG Wealth Sharing grew to what it is now. And if you want advice, obviously reach out to myself and the Avengers. Go to deheck.com, use the contact us page on our website. Also, we did give you a link, which will be back in the chat room in a minute, of our WhatsApp group where we're actually getting people. Now, we want to go after the promoters because I don't care if it's your friend or your family, we're going to come after them. And we've got a database. We're putting all that information together. And then when the receivers, if there is any, or the lawyers are going after these individuals, they can reach out to us and we can hand over our database. We're quite happy to do that. We're quite happy to work with you guys. This live that you're seeing right now is going to go into a different type of live. It's going to be a bit more informal. I think I've done my job explaining the blog, and I'm going to cut this video off here into a different segment, and then we're going to go into a live podcast. So be sure to go to my YouTube channel, go to the live section for the full-blown lives, or go to the video section to watch the snippets where I've done a blog and a detailed explanation of the breakdown of what's gone wrong with BG Wealth Sharing. And I hope you've learned from this and you don't go and reinvest in the next like-minded scam because they'll come after you. You've given them your passport, your driver's license, and unfortunately, you're probably your social security number, all your private details so that you can get money. Don't do that. Don't hand your KYC details over to anybody. I don't do it. If anyone wants my private details, my driver's license and my passports, it's got to be a government department. I don't give it to scammers who are running scams like this out of human trafficking compounds. People who have been running this are working under duress. They're slaves, they're modern day slaves. The big rich people you see driving around those big flash cars are the people that are profiting from you losing your money to BG Wealth Sharing. Please don't be a victim, be a survivor. Become an avenger. Help us go after these scams. Dob people in. That's how we're going to do it. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video.